Fridays are awesome. This one, though, is a little bittersweet because it is our last show of 2013. We're going to look back at some of the stories we covered this year, but first up, we've got a congressional compromise. We're talking about a budget, a plan for how the U.S. government will spend money. The House of Representatives passed it last week. The Senate passed it this week. And when President Obama signs it, which he said he will, it'll become law. Over the past several years, any budget talks have been tense. But Republicans and Democrats compromised to come up with this plan. Several members of both parties aren't happy with some of what's in the budget deal or what's not. Some pointed out that the budget will reduce some military benefits. Others criticized it for not including an extension for unemployment benefits. But one senator said that's how things go when the Senate and the House are controlled by different parties. He said, quote, "Nothing's going to be perfect in this world. It's called compromise." This budget plan does outline government spending through 2015. It loosens some spending restrictions that were in place, and it cancels some cuts that affected different government programs. Plus, this deal makes it unlikely for there to be another government shutdown like the one that happened earlier this year. Target is the second biggest merchandise retail chain in the country. But Target became the target of a security breach, and it could affect 40 million people. The breach involved data from credit cards and debit cards. If you shopped at a Target store between November 27th and December 15th, you might be affected. This is only if you shopped in a brick-and-mortar store, so online sales not involved. Target hasn't said how its systems were hacked, but it did say that the issue that allowed the breach has been identified and resolved. The U.S. Secret Service is investigating. That agency is responsible for protecting the country's financial framework and payment systems. If you think you might have been affected by this, or if you're ever affected by stolen credit card information, there are some ways to protect yourself. Check your statements and look for charges you don't recognize. Call your credit card company and bank and let them know what has happened. And if you need to, replace your card and get a new PIN number.
It's time for the last shout out of 2013. Pope Francis is the first non-European pope in more than 1,000 years. So where was Pope Francis born? If you think you know it, then shout it out. Is it Argentina, South Africa, Mexico, or Portugal? You've got 3 seconds. Go. Pope Francis is from Argentina. He's the first pope ever from the Americas. That's your answer, and that's your shout out.
And now you know the answer to one of the questions in our end-of-year news quiz. Teachers, you can find that at cnnstudentnews.com. We asked on Facebook for your nominations for the biggest stories of 2013. This next video covers some of those and a whole lot more. It's the year in news in about 3.5 minutes. Fair warning, these are going to fly by quickly, so watch closely and see how many you can identify along the way.
Do I have remorse? Absolutely.
Pentagon is eliminating its ban on women in combat.
Fire threat in Southeast Australia.
Popes don't step down. They remain in office until they die.
Iran saying it successfully sent this monkey into space.
Gas field in eastern Algeria.
Manti-Te'o was Khan.
View of a meteor.
The night the lights went out.
The manhunt over. A shooting took place.
Forced budget cuts.
A bottle of water.
Cured a 2-year-old of HIV.
Reject the armistice.
Xi Jinping.
Jorge Mario Bergoglio.
Here I am.
The baby monkey brought to Germany by Justin Bieber.
2 huge explosions that happened there.
Warrants of police officer treating people,
releasing photos.
Being losers.
Officer was killed.
Second bombing suspect is in custody.
West fertilizer plant.
Latest disaster to hit the Bangladesh garment industry.
Found after years.
First-degree murder, guilty.
2-mile-wide tornado. IRS treated Tea Party groups.
Justice Department secretly obtained the cronut.
That's amazing.
Voted to allow gay youth to be scouts.
NSA, the National Security Agency.
A massive apparatus.
PRISM.
9 leading internet companies.
My name's Ed Snowden.
On a tear gas coming in.
Syrian regime used chemical weapons.
Ravaged this part of North India.
Hassan Rouhani.
Inappropriate, hurtful language.
That's Aaron Hernandez.
Doma in violation of the Fifth Amendment.
Filibuster by a Democratic state senator.
Sharknado.
Detroit.
Largest municipal bankruptcy.
Prince George Alexander Louis of Cambridge.
Deadliest wildfire in America in decades.
Quaint little town in eastern Quebec.
It appears to strike the seawall.
A new president has been sworn in.
This battle over the word coup.
George Zimmerman.
Zimmerman, not guilty.
Bradley Manning found not guilty on the charge of aiding the enemy.
Blast from the past.
She was okay.
If I don't defend myself, no one else will.
Area 51.
Anti-gay propaganda law.
I will not let you define me.
Never, ever give up.
First Miss America of Indian descent.
Voyager has entered interstellar space.
Frightening sight in northern Colorado.
Crime scene at the Washington Navy Yard.
Westgate Shopping Mall.
The rotator shift inside.
What does the frog say? Government's closed.
Shutdown day one.
Healthcare.gov.
Internal server error.
Reopen the government.
Oarfish.
The mysterious barge.
Twitter is worth about $25 billion.
Car chase started near the White House and ended on Capitol Hill.
So many of these shipwrecks, though.
School shooting in Nevada.
First ever TSA officer to be killed in the line of duty.
Mobster James Whitey Bulger was sentenced.
We made a mistake.
Tacloban struck by Super Typhoon Haiyan.
First step towards preventing Iran from building a nuclear weapon.
By a drone.
The Metro North train was traveling much too fast.
Gathered in the capital, Kiev.
Under siege by the Seleka militias.
There has been a shooting there.
He is now at peace.
Well, you know from watching our show, the news isn't always so somber. One uplifting example, Chad Pregracki. He's CNN's Hero of the Year, who's led around 70,000 volunteers to clean up millions of pounds of garbage from America's rivers. Listen to what he said he'd do with the $250,000 he was awarded by CNN.
You know, I've met so many great people today, the other heroes, and I'm really moved by all their stories and all the things they do around the world. And like the 250 grand, I'm just gonna give 10 grand to each of them because they're awesome. So yeah.
There's also Savannah Day, 14 years old. She recently had to have brain surgery, which meant she'd be in the hospital over Christmas. Savannah decided to collect toys for the other kids who'd be there with her. Her goal was 500 toys. She collected 4,000.
The reason why I wanted to do this was to start a chain reaction. So when the kids get out of the hospital, they would do something nice for somebody else.
Savannah came through her surgery okay, and she's now recovering. And you could call this guy the kindness king of Dairy Queen. Joey Prusak saw a blind customer drop a $20 bill and a woman behind him pick up the money and pocket it. Prusak asked her to leave the store, then he gave the blind man $20 out of his own pocket. Prusak became a community hero once this story got out. All right, you knew we wouldn't go without having a little holiday fun. So let's start with some penguins in Santa suits. It's the exact opposite of old St. Nick in a tuxedo. Of course, penguins couldn't actually chill with Santa. They're polar opposites. So you just have to look at these little guys, shake your head, and wonder what'll they think of next. How about a gingerbread house that's the size of an actual house? This thing is more than 39,000 cubic feet. Yes, that's a record. And the confectionery accoutrements account for nearly 36 million calories. That'll hit the sweet spot and must have cost a lot of dough. A deer, a reindeer? This huge hoofer used to be a horse, then someone added antlers and the Rudolph red nose. It's set up with a sleigh where people can leave blankets to donate to the homeless, which makes the project especially endearing. We wouldn't want to miss the chance before we dash her away to say thank you. Thanks for watching CNN Student News, for interacting with us on social media, sending in tons of roll call requests, sending us iReports, and mostly for being the most awesome audience we could ask for. CNN Student News will be back in January. For now, we wish you a Merry Christmas, a happy and safe holidays, and a very happy New Year.